Alright, what is going on, YouTube? I am Eccentric. I am with the Steal Your Brain podcast. And because my friend went out of town, we are going to do a new series that'll present itself here and there when I feel like I got the opportunity to talk with everybody. I want to do a few solo series eventually. This is the first one. It's called Let's Get Serious. It's where we kind of put the humor aside, put the joking aside, and I just want to talk to you guys about something serious that's going on in my life or that I've dealt with previously that I know that a lot of people can relate to, and sometimes it's nice just to have that opportunity to talk about things that you may usually never get to talk about, or that, quite frankly, a lot of people might feel ashamed to talk about. So, in the first episode of Let's Get Serious, we're going to talk about something that not only plagues a ton of people, but from my experience, it plagues a lot of the gaming community, which is something that I've been a part of for a really long time, and that's going to be mental health. So, just to start this off a little bit, I went into NAMI.org, it's the mental health website, just to get a little bit of statistics so I can put it into perspective for a lot of people that either A, don't seem to understand the scale of what adults and even children in the US are dealing with, and on top of that, I wanted to be able to let the people who may not have ever had to deal with a mental health issue or illness. I know it says illness on this a lot, but um, from my experience, not all the time is it an illness because sometimes you might just be going through a really hard time and you just need somebody to talk to or you need to go and figure something out. So, first thing is approximately 1 in 5 adults in the U.S. experience mental illness in a given year. I mean, that's an insane amount of people that deal with some type of mental illness or mental health issue over the course of a year. I would be lying if I said I wasn't one of them, and I know tons of people who have all been through it as well. 1 in 25 adults experience a serious illness, and then 1 in 5 youth aged 13 to 18, 21.4% of our youth experience a severe mental disorder at some point during their life. And for children's age 15, 8 to 15, the estimate is 13%. Like, those are insane numbers. And one of the big reasons I want to talk about this is because of these numbers. Like, we really need to, as a society, and especially as like a forward-thinking group of people that gamers are, that like my age demographic with the millennials, we're a lot more forward-thinking. We're a lot more accepting of people. We need to break that stigma that you can't have a mental health issue or you can't have something going on or else you're weak. Especially guys, for some reason, seem to think that it's a weakness. No, it's human, and you need to deal with it the appropriate way. Um, it goes on to talk about bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. Um, right here, at least 16 million adults have had at least one major depressive episode in the past year. So when people tell you that you're not alone, when people tell you that you're not dealing with this on your own, and I know sometimes it feels like you really are, and it feels like you're really just you're up against the world and your back's against the wall and you can't seem to get yourself up and fighting again. You're not alone. So please, please, please understand that. Um, among 20.2 million adults in the U.S. who experience a substance abuse disorder, 10.2 million adults had a co-occurring mental illness. So they're definitely linked. And if you are having trouble with substance abuse, please, please seek out the help that you need. Make sure you're getting the help. All these statistics can be found at the website below. So if you really want to go check it out and you want to find out more, there is more information on there. Go ahead and go to that website. Um, from the same website, they talk about the consequences of lack of treatment, and it is super important that you go and get treatment or you seek out help when you are dealing with an issue. So serious mental illnesses cost us $193.2 billion in lost earnings per year. So just think about that in the fact that You are literally losing money because you're not going and seeking out help. That is not okay. If you are about your money and you're about making sure that you're financially stable, it pays. It literally pays to get help. Mood disorders, including depression and bipolar, are the third most common cause of hospitalization for both youth and adults. I mean, look at that age range, 18 to 44. That is an insane age demographic. I mean, that's a lot of the U.S. right there. So get your help, guys. I'm not going to go and read all of these things, but I am going to touch on this one. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the U.S. and the second leading cause of death for people ages 10 to 34. 10-year-olds, man. 10-year-olds, young kids are feeling hopeless. They're feeling lost. And it's because we're not recognizing the warning signs. We're not helping people, and we're making them feel like it's a bad thing to have depression or to feel down. Parents, I'm a father of 3 myself. Please recognize the signs. Please understand that your kids are kids. They're not going to be perfect. They're going to go through things, and they're going to have issues. You need to be there for them, and you need to get them the help that they deserve. Everybody else, adults, help yourself. Reach out to somebody. More than 90% of people who die from suicide show symptoms of a mental health condition. That's 90% of it, man. That's a ton of people that can be saved every year by just showing some concern and helping people out. And right here, this one hits home. I'm an Air Force guy. I'm in the Air Force currently. Each day, an estimated 18 to 22 veterans die by suicide. I don't know about you guys, but that does not sit well with me. I don't claim to be this war hero. I don't claim to feel like I am owed anything. But at the end of the day, the people that I've served with in every branch, it doesn't matter if you're Air Force, Army, Marines, Coast Guard, Navy, I don't care where you served, they need help. If you need help and you're a veteran, seek me out, seek somebody else, get some help, man, because you cannot resort to the suicide. People love you and people care about you, and they need you around. So please, please, please understand. I know it's hard, the things you've seen, the things you've had to do. I know it's hard. Let's get you the help. Let's take care of you. And please, 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 if you are feeling down and you feel like you have no other options, if you're watching this video and you're feeling that way, and do not be ashamed of getting help. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with feeling depressed, and there's nothing wrong with who you are as a person. Please call the hotline, get help, and make sure you are taking care of yourself. It is so important that you make sure that you are taking care of yourself. And to add to that, if you have a friend and you know they are going through some stuff, please reach out to them, talk to them, find out what's going on. If you feel concerned for them, yeah, they might be mad at you because you went ahead and got them the help that they need, but I promise you, when they get through it, they are going to be thanking you and thanking you and thanking you for helping save their lives. Suicide is never the option. It's never the answer. So I want to jump into not being ashamed. Please do not be ashamed. I have dealt with depression in my life. I recently went through a stint. So for me, there's been 2 major stints in my life where I've gone through a serious depression, and I have had to try to find my way out of it. And I know it's so isolating, and it makes you feel like you're seriously just alone, and nobody cares, and you're just doing it on your own. It really is so easy to get down on yourself when you feel like things aren't going the way that you want them to, and I'm sorry, it just keeps going, and you feel like you're digging yourself deeper and digging yourself deeper, and the negative emotions feed off of each other, and you continue to dive deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Everyone experiences some form of depression at some point in their lives. Yeah, I know the statistics at the beginning of the slideshow say that it's like 90% or something around that number, but I'm willing to say that it is going to be everyone in this world will have experienced some form of depression, even if it's very mild and it's only for a day. At some point, you are going to have a stint of depression or a mental health issue at some point. And I can assure you right now, anybody who is watching my video that does not feel like you are good enough, that you don't feel like you mean something to somebody, that you don't feel like you're enough or that you're important, you are. You are important, you are valuable, you mean something to somebody in this world, and you need to know that. Your mental health does not stop at depression. There's anxiety, there's substance abuse. I mean, there's so many different things that you need to seek out help for. Two of the big ones, if you are suffering from any type of mental health or any type of substance abuse issue, please contact the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. They will get you help. They will find you a state provided service free of charge, and they will keep it anonymous, and they're open 24/7. I wrote 265, but it is 365 days a year. You need to make sure that you are getting yourself as much help as you possibly can. And if you are feeling like you don't want somebody to know it's you, well, there you go. It's confidential. So I want to give you guys my backstory, and I want to tell you where I'm coming from, because I feel like I could sit here and preach to you all day about how, oh, you need to take care of yourself, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to make sure that you're taking all the steps to climb your way out of this. And at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything if you guys can't relate to what I'm going through or what I've gone through. So I got married at the age of 19, and I had a kid with my ex-wife. After my daughter was 3 months old, we moved to a different country. I got an awesome opportunity to live in a different country. Looking back at it now, it was an awesome opportunity, but we were not feeling that way when we moved there. It was her first time, my ex-wife's first time away from home. We had just had a 3-month-old, and we're getting ready to move to England. Fast forward a little bit, my wife's super unhappy. We're not getting along with each other, so she would go back to America to spend time with her family and get away from mine and her issues, mine and her drama, and that kind of sent me spiraling down further. I mean, you sit here and you're in a different country and you have nobody, and you go out there with your wife and your kid, and then your wife and your kid are in a different country again. So that continues to play a part. I do not blame her by any means. If I had the opportunity to have left and spent time with people that I cared about, that I knew could help me through my issues, I would have done it as well. While there, I got super out of shape, let myself go. I went from like 165 pounds to like 220 pounds, lost all my confidence. I continued to just kind of spiral. It was like because I was there for 4 years, and it was like a 4 year stretch of just spiraling down, 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 deeper and deeper. And like, I didn't even know I was depressed the entire time I was there. I would cover it up with like joking and hanging out with like, oh, I would never go hang out with people. That was the problem. But I would cover it up with like joking and like, when people would tell me, "Oh, you're out of shape. You need to get yourself in shape," I'd laugh and be like, "Oh no, I like my dad bod." And like, I knew deep down like I wasn't happy, but I did not feel like I even knew I was depressed. I didn't sleep enough. I was constantly like tossing and turning. I was having issues sleeping because the depression was kicking in, and it just made it really hard for me to fall asleep, because when I would fall asleep, I would see the things that were bothering me, and then I wouldn't want to dream about it because I dealt with it all day during my life. I would never go to the gym. I would never take care of myself. I ate like shit. This is the big one, and this ultimately led to the last one as well, is I didn't value my relationships enough. And I will, to this day, I won't take full responsibility for my divorce because at the end of the day, we were just not happy with each other. We're in great terms now. It is what it is. But I did not value my relationships enough, and I did not treat people the way that I felt like I should have treated them. I should have given them the opportunity to talk to me. I should have given my time to them. But instead, I was venting my depression and my problems to a different source, and I was not using my relationships that I did have that were and could have been good at the time to help me get through it. So ultimately that ended up in me and my ex-wife getting a divorce when we moved back to America. Um, and yeah, it's unfortunate, and really by the time that I hit this divorce, that's when I hit rock bottom. As soon as it was decided that we were going to get a divorce, and I was going to have these issues, that was kind of my rock bottom at that point. And that was, I mean, rather recently. I mean, so it sucks, but I did beat it. I can honestly tell you right now, I'm happier than I've been in several. I'd say probably since my daughter was born. And obviously, I'd have spurts of happiness when my other kids were born, and I mean, there was things that made me happy, but I'm happy with myself. I have not been happy with myself in a very long time, and this is how I got to that point. The first thing I had to do was I had to accept myself for who I was. I had to know that I was good enough, that no matter what ended up happening on the outside, or what happened within my relationship, or what happened while I was in England, I'm a good person. I am good enough. I should not be ashamed of myself, and I should be able to do the things that I enjoy. And I felt like I was so restricted, and I was not able to do the things that I wanted to do, and I had to conform to what everybody else wanted me to do. With that being said, do not care about other people's irrelevant opinions. That is the biggest one, I think, for a lot of people. Is like, you want to be accepted. You want to have that sense of like people like you. You want to have that sense of like people's opinions of you are super good. But at the end of the day, from my experiences overseas, and dealing with people on a daily basis, and people constantly coming in and out of my life, eventually people fizzle out of your life, and they do not matter. The only person that matters when it comes to your vision on yourself, or the vision that is matters, is yours. I really messed up that sentence. I'm sorry. They mean nothing, and 10 out of 10 times the people who are talking shit about you are the people that are probably hurting the most. Those are the people that they misery loves company. It does. So if you're talking crap about somebody, if you're having somebody's talking crap about you, or they're belittling you, or making you feel like you're not good enough, it's because they feel that way about themselves. So they want to bring you down with them. Because people who are truly happy with themselves, and people who truly want to be like good people, and want to like portray that positive energy, that they're happy with themselves, they want to help other people. Something like that just happened recently, where The Rock got his Generation Award. He said a quote, and I can't think of it exactly, but it was mostly just about like being good to other people, and that's the best way you can be about yourself. You need to be honest with yourself, though. If you are not honest with yourself, you cannot accept yourself for who you are, what your flaws are, and that ultimately that you're depressed and that you're having issues. You need to be honest with yourself, and understand, like, if you are feeling a certain way, you need to change it up. You need to go get help. You need to reach out to people. You need to make sure that you are doing the things that you like to do. Some of the There are just so many ways that people are lie to themselves, or they lie to other people to make themselves feel better, but all you're doing is masking the pain, but it's not actually going away, and it's not actually fixing anything. This one was huge for me. I went by the end of my divorce and by the end of everything that happened and that constant spiral, like I said, when I moved to England, I was about 165 pounds roughly. 6'1", 165. So pretty decent shape. When I left England, I was 260 pounds. So over the course of 4 years, I gained 100 pounds, and it's not muscle, it's fat. And I'm in the Air Force, so it was a struggle to make sure I maintained my fitness and maintained my like physical fitness standards that the Air Force has set for me. Go to the gym. This changed my it absolutely changed my life. I only miss Sundays because I want my body to recover. Other than that, I am in the gym 6 days a week. And if I'm not in the gym, I'm doing something at home, body weight, going on a walk with my kids, something to make sure that I am staying active and releasing those feel good endorphins that you get when you work out. One of the best parts about my day when I go to the gym is I put my headphones in, I either put on an audiobook or I put on some music that I'm really feeling that day. I zone the fuck out and I just go at it. It doesn't matter if it's cardio, if it's strength training, if it's CrossFit, whatever you feel like your body type and what you're going to enjoy most, do it because you're going to release those endorphins. You're going to feel good. You're going to have more energy. You're going to get yourself in better shape. You're going to feel better about your body, the way you look. It just honestly is such an amazing thing to do. Another thing is you need to make sure you are getting enough rest and you are eating healthy. I ate like shit when I gained 100 pounds over 4 years. Burger King, Taco Bell, Charlie's, just all these shitty, fatty foods that just slowly just ate away at me and like I was constantly sick and I was constantly getting fatter and fatter and I was sleeping maybe 3 or 4 hours a night on a good night and it just your diet and your overall your diet and your sleep play such a major factor in your overall health and it's so overlooked. If you get a solid 7 to 8 hours a night of sleep, it's gonna benefit you in the long run. You're gonna feel more rested, and you're gonna feel like you are starting the day refreshed and ready to go and take on the challenges of the day. If you're only getting 2 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep a night, you're waking up and you're slow and you're lethargic and you feel sloppy and you're not ready to take on the day. With that, your health, your eating, and the health factor that comes with eating is going to play a huge factor in that too because your body wants to have the healthy fuels. It wants to eat the things that you know you should be eating. And if you're eating the things that you feel like you're going to be eating, you're going to have more energy, you're going to feel better, you're going to have less sickness, you're going to take care of your body, and you're going to take care of your mind better. Some tools I use. So these are some of the things that over the course of, so I got divorced. Oh, we separated in September of 2018, and I probably started feeling better about everything and started really feeling like I wasn't depressed and I was actually happy again around March April timeframe. So it took some time and it wasn't instant and it definitely started to take, it took a lot of effort to really pull myself out of it. One thing that I did do that was awesome, I read the David Goggins book, and I was never a big reader before this, but I read more than I watch TV now. And this book really kind of started that because it honestly it changed my life. And it's Read Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins because this book isn't going to tell you, oh, you need to do this and this and this, and that's how you're going to change your life and you're going to be happy, because that's not what we want. You can't actually find happiness by somebody else telling you what to do. This book forces you to look at your life, look at the struggles that you've had. It has challenges throughout the book that allow you to really reflect on your life and the things and the issues and the dramas and the problems that you've gone through, assess them, and figure out how to beat the fuck out of them. Another big one is do the things you like to do. For so long, I put off doing things I like to do, the things I wanted to do, because I felt like I couldn't, or else I was going to lose my wife, or else I was going to lose everything. But honestly, in the last like 6 months, I've gone skydiving, I've gone zip lining, I bought a motorcycle. I get to go out and ride with my friends and spend time with them, and then on the days that I have my kids, I go and I take them to the park and we go on walks and we. You got to do the things that you enjoy, and you got to spend time with people that you enjoy spending time with, which brings me to the be social part. For so long, I isolated myself. I put myself in a box. I said, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to talk to any of you. None of you understand me. Like, just leave me the fuck alone. But honestly, I could not be more grateful and more happy with the friends and the family members that I did have to help me pull through this, because as soon as I started open up to them and I started to talk to them about my issues and the things that I was feeling and the things I was dealing with, not only did they offer an ear to listen and somebody to just kind of make me be able to talk it through with them, and really be honest with myself to them and think out loud. But they also forced me to be social. They forced me to go out and do the things I want. I knew I liked to do, but I just wouldn't have the energy or the time, or I wouldn't make the time for. And it really honestly was awesome to like slowly start coming out of my shell and feeling better, and moving past all of the depressive stuff and the isolation and becoming social. We're social creatures. Us as humans, we need that social interaction and we need to spend time with people. And that's what's awesome about the internet and gaming, is we get that opportunity to spend time with people, but it's different to do it in real life. And if you don't feel like you connect with people in real life at your work or at your school or whatever, man, like go and do things that, like, if you like Yu-Gi-Oh, go to a card convention. If you like going to play Call of Duty, go to an MLG event. Do things that you know that like you can surround yourself with like-minded people. It's going to help you pull yourself out. It's going to help you be around people that you feel are the same as you. Another big one is, and I'm not going to touch too hard on this, go out and get some sun, man. Those vitamins are essential to your happiness. They're going to make you feel better. Go out, spend some time in the sun. Don't sit on your computer all day. Don't spend time sleeping all day. Don't sit in a dark room all day. You need to go out and you need to spend some time. This one's big. You need to challenge your negative thinking. Anytime you feel like you have a negative thought, or you feel like you have a problem that's going on, you need to make sure that you are going out there and you are saying, no, fuck that. I know this is negative thinking and I'm not going to think this way. One thing I did, like if I had a negative thought, or like I never got to the point where I ever felt like I was suicidal or like that death would be a better option. But like if you feel a certain way and you feel like it's a negative thought, write it down so you can assess that shit and you can beat the fuck out of it next time you think that way. Or so you can avoid going down that same path, and you can create a more positive path, so that way that negative thinking doesn't become a thing anymore. And this is the big one too. Do not be afraid to ask for help from your friends, your family, and if you need to, go see a medical professional. There is nothing wrong with going to a mental health, we call it mental health in the Air Force, but just a physician. Go see somebody who can help you, that knows the medical and the chemical side of it, so they can get you medicine, so they can get you the assistance that you need. If you need to go to a treatment facility, do not be ashamed of those things, because those things are important. You need to take care of yourself. You need to understand that you are important and you need to take care of yourself. You are the shit. Do not ever fucking forget that. Do not ever fucking let yourself think that you're not good enough, and do not ever let yourself feel like you are not the shit. Straight the fuck up. If any of you guys that watch this video, I don't even know if it's going to be watched by anybody, but if you are watching this video and you're feeling down and you just want somebody to talk to, man, shoot us an email in the inbox of the YouTube channel. Both of us have been through stuff like this, and both of us are willing to talk to you guys. I know this is my solo series, but Klepto will talk to you. I will talk to you. If you want to get in and you want to bullshit with us on the Discord, you want to play some games, let's do it. Let's talk. That's figure this out, man, because nobody should feel isolated. Nobody should have to feel like they're wrong for feeling this way, and nobody should have to go through this. So remember, you're the shit, and keep fucking kicking ass.